Yeah, I would say this past year, I've actually had to do a lot of mental reworking because that was always my issue. Like, I would crumble under pressure. I haven't had that moment where I'm the only person to send a climb and like the crowd goes crazy, right? So I was like, I really want that moment. I've been waiting for this.
All right, guys, welcome back to yet another Betabreak by Seam here with Tyler. I called it again. Look at me, I'm rocking this. And we brought with us the winner of we'll call it the final stop, the big
Yeah.
Nor'easter movement
The
Nor'easter
Nor'easter
competition.
Super Final.
Super finals, final stop, open finals, male winner, James Burt. Welcome,
What's
James.
up? What's up?
How are you doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
All right, yeah, feeling good off of the big win. I know I'm gonna just throw this out there. This seems to be the mantra for all the up and coming youth when they finally get that big win. Is he finally beat Austin Hoyt?
Yeah.
It's a funny mantra that you hear, and it's really cool to see that that you've been working hard. I think the first time I saw you competing was at the CRG Chelsea I forget what they call it, but the subterranean series, I think is what it's called, whatever it is. And you placed second, and there was actually a lot of controversy around that one, right? But we might get into it a little bit. Just let everybody know who you are, what you're about, and then we'll get into all the dirt.
All right, sounds good. My name is James Burt, and competitive rock climber for the past, I don't even know how long, maybe 9 years. I started climbing when I was like nine, I think, and I'm 18 now. So yeah.
Nice.
Sick.
And you're based in Jersey, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then so from a competitive standpoint, you do the USAC training circuit, USAC circuit. You're a youth competitor.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
That's what my main focus is on currently.
Okay. Yeah, which is why we haven't seen you too much in the local scene because you have your time being occupied by all of the perfect timing of USAC competitions and how'd you do? Like I think you did well this year if I'm not mistaken.
This year, I didn't really take regionals that seriously. I just was just having fun, so I got like fifth or something. But I didn't
Okay.
really care that much. But then divisionals, I locked in. One day one and also one day two by a mile, so it's pretty
That's
chill.
fine. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I know you were crushing it in divisionals, and I'm not followed. Have we done nationals yet? Or
It's
Nationals
coming
is
up right around the
in
corner.
literally like 9 days, something like that. Yeah.
all right, excellent,
Yeah.
nice, excited.
Yeah.
All right, but let's talk about more exciting things. Local competitions.
Uh,
Yeah. Local comps,
Tyler,
yeah, way more hype, way less pressure. But sometimes more pressure, especially when it comes to a super final. James, if you will, did you compete at any of the other stops along the Nor'easter circuit this year?
I think I did Valhalla. I think I just did
Oh, were
Valhalla
you?
and I got third. So I was just
Okay.
basically pre-qualified. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so you were in Feats finals, and I just don't remember. Is that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that what's
yeah.
going on? Okay. Sick. Yeah. My brain totally works in my advanced age. That's rad. Yeah. So I commented. I was there. I was on the mic, and I don't remember. That's sick.
yeah, yeah, and it's
Prepared
and it's
interviewer.
crazy. And this happens all the time, where like new talent, even though you've been in for a while, you really from the local scene. I've only seen you sprinkled here and there throughout because of the conflicting schedule with USAC. But I know I've seen you before, and we've said and it's just crazy how you know everyone is here and there. I remember one beta break we were talking about Josh Placko. I'm like, oh yeah, like he's gonna be doing something real soon. And then I go back in footage and I literally have like seven other comps. So I have Josh in, and I'm like, oh my god, just kind of going back. So I totally get it on Tyler's standpoint when you just everyone's sprinkled here and there, and you just kind of miss it because we're focused on the names that we know, and but like you got to keep an eye out for the young talent.
So pre-qualified from Feats finals, you still had to do the morning session. That we didn't live stream that. We didn't. I wasn't able to make it there that early in the morning to then stay for the evening. Can you talk us through the qualification round? How was that for you?
The qualification round was sick. Those climbs, I don't know. I haven't climbed on those types of movements in so long. Those were really good set climbs, I gotta say. But I was the only one that sent every climb. I flashed everything except one. which I just messed up the beta a bit on it. So I sent it like fifth or fourth go, but everything else I slashed, and I was the only one that sent everything. So
Yeah, no,
That's
you
great.
came out swinging. It qualified first out of the college round, and then you're in a good place going into finals.
And we talk a lot about kind of trends that we see in competitions and in setting styles over the years. It sounds like the qualification round was a little bit outside the norm, especially from what you might see at a USAC comp. Can you give us some of the highlights of like movement styles that you saw?
I think I feel like the climbs were there was a lot more thought and effort that were put into them than just normal, just regional, divisional, national climbs. Like I feel like they were a lot more advanced movements. And we were talking about in ISO, all of us, we were saying, yo, these climbs might be a little tricky. They kind of look weird. The beta, we were not really sure on any of the climbs what the exact beta was. So we all ended up doing totally different betas on almost every single climb. So I feel like the best climb was probably the yellow. It had really cool, it was just a straight power boulder, right? Big rose move underneath into a campus paddle. Some people did a campus paddle. Austin went feet first. I don't know. See, I saw him
Of
go feet
course.
first up it. I don't even know. I just like campus all the way up, but that climb was so cool. And I don't know. We all just had different ways of doing it. So yeah.
And we'll
Yeah,
kind of
shout
get into
out
the
there.
final round. We saw that as well in the finals round. Almost everybody had different betas on each of the climbs, which is really
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Um,
And I just wanted to shout out the set, like Vinny and company, the entire setting team at Movement. They put a lot of passion. They definitely put a lot of passion into all of their sets, but like there was just a little extra love put into the qualifiers as well as the finals round for this, and you can tell. And big shout out to them for that.
And as far as kind of format, we see the qualifiers into finals round. We're used to qualifying in the morning with a red point round or a modified red point round, and then going into the finals for on. You're used to the multiple rounds of flash format from USAC, but for a local comp, how was that format split for you? Did you enjoy that more than a red point round?
I actually enjoyed it a lot more. I've always been better under the 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off, just because I'm just used to the pressure that it puts on. You don't really have time to just like relax and chill, like red point or modified red point. It's just in like the original way, you kind of have time. You have 3 hours, so you could literally just try to climb as much as you want. But in this format, it's kind of a lot more pressure because you only have 4 minutes, right? And you also have to time your attempts because you don't want to be too tired. So I'm really good at that, and I have a lot of experience. That's why I think I dominated pretty much in the qualifier round compared to everyone else.
Yeah, and you also don't have the luxury of being able to see what the actual beta is, right? So if you're good at reading problems, which apparently you are, then that 4 minutes pressure to be able to get it, lock in, and then send it is to your advantage. As opposed to some people, I know a lot of people that make it to finals simply because they're really strong climbers, but they're awful at reading beta, and then it shows in finals when they get out there by themselves and they're just lost. And so like being strong is definitely part of the game, but also being able to read a climb in 4 minutes is a whole different thing. And I have the ability to read climbs in 4 minutes, but I don't have the strength to back it up. So
Well, you get the 1 minute preview. That's you're forgetting about
right,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so going straight into the finals round, then we got a good look at those. Those boulders were also, at least from where I was sitting. I MC a lot of comps. I watch a lot of comps. I think that was the best set round I've seen in a long time, if not ever. So let's take our time. Let's go boulder by boulder. Number one was some cool like dual text panels for start holds in addition to a jug. Can you talk us through boulder one for you? How was that one?
Boulder one was really cool. I knew since I was in ISO going last that no one had sent it just based off of the crowd. And so before going to the comp, I actually told my dad, shout out to my dad, he's coming with me everywhere to all my competitions and stuff. I actually told him, I haven't had that moment where I'm the only person to send a climb and like the crowd goes crazy, right? So I was like, I really want that moment. I've been waiting for this. And so I went out there. I'm like, I know I'm the only one that hasn't done this climb. Why don't I just go up and just do it, right? So I went up to it, and my first two attempts, I kind of was just feeling it out. I wasn't trying to rush myself, or I was just feeling out the beta and the climb. I found out there was like a little knee bar in that you could get on my second try that I didn't realize in my first. I was trying to just do it very dynamically, which didn't end up working out. So on my last try, I decided to wait, I think like 2 minutes straight of just resting and waiting for the plus time. And I felt bad for everyone in the crowd because they were all just, I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing there. And then Savine, who was like already splashed their climb, so I was just standing there awkwardly. But I was like, okay, I gotta lock in, setting this. I don't know. I just hit flow state. Like I genuinely, I can't even tell you because I don't remember. Like everything just smooth. I didn't hear anything. I like was only thinking about the climb. I could not hear anything. Like the crowd was so loud, I couldn't hear anything. And it felt like every move I made, the past moves just disappeared from my brain. So I was just focused on the next move, next move, next move. And I felt like I just smoothly went up as like quickly, accurately as possible. And then I got to the top. I adjusted my beta, so I got a high foot and then a toe, which I was thinking about on the ground. And I was like, I don't know, this might work. I have like 3 different options. I'm just going to wait out on my last climb. Whatever feels right, I'll just do, right? And then I go hit the last hold and then match. And then I hear the crowd and everything. It was the coolest feeling I think I've ever had in my life, genuinely.
Yeah, no, it definitely, that was a clean send for sure. And yeah, that, I think everyone pretty much did the same thing in the sense of getting to the second to last when they're in that awkward gaston, and just couldn't find the position, and you took your time, 2 minutes, worked it out, and you sent it. It was a good moment for sure.
Yeah, man, that was an incredible, like, crowd was psyched. I was mega psyched. Like, plus time only to send to the boulder. It was so sick that it almost, like, threw off the vibes for the rest of the comp because we, like, started with the win moment early on. Right. But in the best way, you know? It, like, set a high bar for us to try to overcome. It was awesome. I want to key in on a couple things. Number one, the consistent thing that I'm hearing from you is you enjoy kind of the pressure, the moment, the like competition headspace. Is that accurate? Like, do you thrive in that kind of big moment time frame?
Yeah, I would say this past year, I've actually had to do a lot of mental reworking because that was always my issue. Like, I would crumble under pressure. Like, for example, I do not know if you guys remember this, but I got first place in Vital going into finals. And then I went into finals with so much pressure since I was going last against all these like great, amazing climbers. And I just crumbled. I got dead last in finals and I just did not perform. So ever since then, I've just been trying to mentally rework how I view competition climbing and just the way competition works so that I thrive under going last, right? I like the pressure, I feel like helps me climb better than I just not having pressure at all. That's why I enjoy going last.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Correct
me. Are you training out of the YTC? Are you working with that team?
No, I'm currently I'm doing my own thing right now. I'm competing for method, but I'm kind of working with RDG. He's like helping me like set up schedules and just like, I don't know, he's like my little private coach, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Zoe Sayeda, who works out of the YTC, does a lot of that kind of mental work with people. And then I know that you're friends with a bunch of people that train out of there. So I just had the mental association. But that's rad. Like the hearing that there is clear sign of mental progress is a really cool thing because it's such a subjective realm. The other thing that I wanted to touch on, because I saw your dad right up front filming every boulder, which was rad to see. Has he always been a big part of your climbing journey?
Yes, he's like the main part of my climbing. You know, he's the one that motivates me to climb. He's the one that pushes me. He's always there. He's gone to every single competition. Even if he has something, he'll put it to the side to watch. You know, I'm really grateful for him, you know. But on the fact that he was up there filming, my mom actually did come to film, but she got too scared and she was sitting in the back because she was so nervous. So he had to go film for her. So
Yeah, dad's
That's
throwing
it,
elbows
yeah.
to get the best spot. I love it.
Yeah, I've been saying for years that there should be a cardiologist on site at comps for the parents and the coaches, because it is way more like heart palpitation inducing for us than it is for the competitors. Your dad is also jacked. Is he an athlete in his own right? I've got to assume.
He actually played professional college baseball and is also a professional baseball coach. So
Sick.
he knows all about sports. So he helps me with my mental and stuff like that.
There's an interesting link between baseball and climbing. There's a lot of people who excel in climbing who excel in baseball. I think it's something to do with like how the reps are super important and getting a lot of mileage on very minutia based skill work. It's interesting. That would be a whole separate conversation, but we'll keep it moving. We'll go into boulder number 2, which was the slab with the swing on it. How was that one for you?
The slab with the swing, I don't know. I feel like I wasn't happy with that climb, right? I feel like I crumbled a little bit. I did not give my best attempts I could. And I don't know, it felt very awkward for me. And to figure out the beta, my arms were kind of cramping the whole time, but I don't want to like cope about that or say anything. But I just feel like I could have done a lot better. I sent that climb and I was not happy. I was so mad. You have no idea. I went into ISO just straight face. I was so mad. But
But it was
because
like
I
what?
knew I could flash that.
It was like what, 3 goes, 2 goes, maybe.
I think I sent it in 4 or 5. It was
4.
it was not my proudest moment because I don't know.
That boulder did give people a good amount of trouble. It was interesting. Like the swing looked a lot easier than it clearly felt to people. I was giving Austin plenty of trash talk because he was just like swinging back and forth on it for like a minute at a time. Real silly goose stuff. So as much as I'm sure that that you had a better performance in the tank, it was kind of consistent that one was a sneaky troublemaker. It looked a little bit more straightforward than it was. It looked to me like they wanted a hand jam in the crack, like in the pink. And Josh Blacko was the only one who actually like put the hand jam in. Did that occur? Did you want to hand jam and it just wasn't in the cards? Or did you read it that way?
I did not read it that way. I was so surprised when I heard Josh do the hand jam to do it. I was like, I don't know. I read it as like a 1-2, just double Gaston and just hit it. But like those holds were so bad. They had no chalk. It was the slipperiest thing ever. So I had to adjust my beta to go statically towards it instead of trying to be like more dynamic to the Gaston.
Yeah, I was surprised that for trying to force the hand jam that I mean, essentially everyone who did who got the top other than Josh did the same exact thing they came across. I'm surprised I didn't make that worse. So that to kind of force the hand jam, or maybe I don't know, didn't talk to the setters if they were giving options on that, because I think the hand jam and the swing across Gaston were equally as awful, and still give you an opportunity to get the top in a different way.
Yeah. The swing itself, I think a bunch of people kind of went with like the one arm swing. It seemed from the crowd, from the spectator point of view, looked a little bit more straightforward than what we ended up seeing people on. Are you able to articulate how that swing felt? Because it looked like there's more depth to it than first met the eye.
Yeah, I think the way you hold like the big black jug that you're swinging off of really determined how you did it. There was a bunch of different ways you could hold it, but I don't know. It felt like you were kind of swinging away from the hold. It was kind of awkward to like get onto that hold specifically, because every time you would try to get on it, you would end up like either being on that very outside of the hold and you wouldn't be in like the center. You'd be basically just fully off of it, or like just missing it, because the hold is just in such an awkward area where if you hit it in the middle, if you hit the hold in the middle, you get pressed out by the wall and you end up falling back. So I think that's probably why it was so awkward to do the swing and like actually land on it, even though it's a massive hold. We all thought it was like V2.
Yeah, which is like from the read, it didn't look that bad, and then there's like these subtleties with the angles that if you land where you want to land, it pushes you out. If you land where you don't want to land, it spits you out. We saw people, I think you landed directly on the hold, but we saw like Adrian kind of like swung all the way through and landed like in a drop knee. I think like Austin maybe did the same thing. So we saw Josh land directly on it. So it was interesting seeing people attack even just the landing of it from different perspectives. People took the swing from different ways. Yeah, it was cool to see. You got that like fourth or fifth try, which was interesting, coming off of like the super rad top of one, but like composure maintained. You know, that was yeah. Sweet. Yeah, moving along to number 3, which was an interesting traverse. It was kind of like Cordo, but not Cordo, in the opposite direction. And that one specifically, we saw a lot of different betas on. Can you talk us through number 3?
Yeah, so number 3, I kind of went into, I fully reset from the last climb. I was like, okay, I didn't do my best on the slab climb. I'm going to make up for these next 2 climbs, and I'm going to flash them all. So I went into that. I think you actually came up to me and were trying to talk to me, and I was like so focused, I didn't even hear you.
It was sick.
Yeah. But I did the start. I don't know if other people did the start. I know Austin did like a whole entire run across, and that was kind of crazy. I watched it that back, but I think I did the start. I was able to reach the 2 start holds and just like fully span. So it made the Cordo to the first like black dual text a lot easier to hold instead of just going with the toe hooking. And I don't know. I feel like the rest was pretty easy. I feel like that was the easiest climb of the round for me. I don't know. It felt like not hard at all, to be honest. Like, and my biceps were cramping the whole time. So I was kind of just like trying to shake out as much as I could on like those no hands rests before the palm press into the second last move. But I thought the palm press was pretty cool, to be honest, because
some awkward palm
I like
press.
barely held it. I barely held it with the left hand. My hand was like slowly slipping off. And actually, another funny thing about that finish is I didn't notice the foothold that was there. And I know Austin didn't notice it either. And that's why I took so many attempts. I didn't notice it until I got there. So I was like looking down and then I see the foothold. I was like, how did I not see this before? It was like literally invisible.
Yeah. Austin fully missed it. I think a few people only saw it kind of as they were getting closer to the finish. And finals lighting, I think, hides some holds sometimes, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you made the whole process look really clean. It's interesting to hear, like, you were kind of cramping up through the round. Are you usually a cramper? Does that happen to you often?
I think it happens to me after I climb in the morning and then climb at night. But I know the reason why. It's because I rapid fired the slab and I don't know. I was just like angrily doing the slab climb. So I just kept on rapid firing it. And I just like, it ended up just making my arms and my legs cramped. So if I didn't do that and I just like was composed and just did that slab slowly like I normally do, that probably wouldn't have happened and I probably wouldn't have had to deal with that. But it's happened to me a couple times, but it's only when I'm like rapid firing a climb where that actually ends up happening, and then it affects the rest of my round.
Gotcha. But yeah, maybe there's some room for hydration in your future. You know, turns out Red Bull doesn't count as water. Yeah, so I mean, number 3 was chill, and then number 4 I think was one of the coolest boulders I've ever seen. I don't know if you are in the know on what the process of that was, but they built those holds with the slots. The centers like manually crafted them, and it was they painted it with like the ultra dark black paint, like Vanta black paint.
Yeah.
But the story that I heard is that they made the holds, like tested it, ran it, made sure that it all worked, etc., and then took it off and painted it. So they never actually ran it with the paint on until turnover, because they didn't want the holds to be, like the slots to be visible from chalk, which is really cool. Talk us through number 4, and for folks at home, if you can, describe the texture of those slots as well, and kind of what they felt like.
Yeah. So we kind of went out and saw that, and we were so confused during preview because we saw there was no chalk. So we thought they didn't even forerun the climb, and it was just like we were so confused. Like the start hold, I don't know how to explain this. It feels like, I don't know, like grabbing on top of like your door frame, like the paint. It felt like very paint. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was,
Yeah.
you could definitely feel the paint. Um, and like that first star hold was maybe 5 mil, I think. It was really bad. And it
was
was also a
small.
mono. Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
bad. And there was a mono on top that you
Yeah.
hit, and then you bump across. And we were all talking about like, there's no way we're using this mono. We're just skipping it. And I'm pretty sure we all ended up using it. So
Everyone
Yeah.
used it.
Almost everybody
Yeah.
used it. Yeah. And then the hole that you went to was a bit deeper, right? That everybody was either rosing or crossing
Yeah, the
off
zone.
of. Yeah, that was zone. The zone hold was deeper, but it still had that kind of paint texture, right? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
deep, and people were like one arming on it because you're all freaks, but the texture wasn't there. I think people don't have enough appreciation for like how slick those slots were with the paint. I know. So we saw Austin kind of go over the top. We saw you try the rose move. Can you? What was the beta that ended up working for you? Did you rose for it?
I've tried. Okay, I sent out my second attempt. My first attempt, I tried the rose move, but I missed the slot, and I just wasn't accurate enough going to the next slot after the rose move. So I came down off the wall, and I'm like, okay, why am I trying to show off for the crowd? This is a lot easier than I'm making it, you know. And so I just threw my foot up on like the big circular like pocket thing, and then I just cross over. My foot popped. I held the move, got my
Yeah.
foot back on, and then cross out. So
That was some really good try hard to hold that. Like, I saw the I saw your body want to fall and you make the decision not to. It was sick, you know. And the how deep was the third slot? Or like, you know, like, so slot number 1 was like 5 to 10 mil. Slot 2 probably was like 15 to 20, right? Like like slot 3 and the finish. What were those ones like?
they were pretty bad as well. I'd say maybe like around 10 mil, maybe smaller. The finish, I don't really. The finish was like kind of hard to hold on with one hand, but I think the move after you cross through and whatever, and then you get your foot up, and then you go across to what's it called? The next move. Those two holds are like kind of the same. I'm pretty sure they just didn't feel that great, to be honest. And also, my forearms were cramping the whole time. I have no idea how I ended up sending that. Like it was so painful. I don't think I've ever tried that hard in my life to hold a move.
Sick.
Like it was so painful to do that. But I also can't really tell because I was exhausted, so it might have felt worse to me than it normally is. But they were not good compared to zone, which was like a mega jug. Those were terrible. They were so bad.
Yeah, I know Vinny, the head route setter, was like, "This is the hard crimp hard climb. You want it, you gotta,
Yeah,
keep pulling."
you wanted it, you got it. Pulling on crimps. Yeah.
Yeah,
The finish position, you know, we saw you and Austin get to the top of that one, and both of you, it looked like you both latched and looked like you were going to be able to hold, but had to like fight again to find the match, which is really cool. The by the end of that boulder, I'm sure like pretty exhausted between the 8 boulders you did and collectively 20 attempts, you know, over the course of the day. Did you know that you had won by the time you topped number 4?
Well, I think I'm really good at like hearing the crowd and keeping track of everyone's scores in ISO. So I knew I had better attempts than Austin on all the climbs. So I knew if I just needed to flash zone it, I would have won. But I was going to the bathroom downstairs, and my dad was there, and he was like, "Finish it, you know, send 4 climbs. Like sending only 3 is not enough." He was like, "Finish this." So I was like, "Okay, I need to go 4 for 4. I'm not someone that is happy by winning by like a very short bit. Like the only time I'm ever happy with winning is if I number 1 beat people that I know are better than me or have beaten me before, and if I just dominate. If I just dominate, then I'll be happy with like how I do. So being the only person to send all the climbs, all 4 of them, was, I don't know, that made me happy, you know.
yeah. Eliminate all doubt. Right, we're not going to the score. 4 tops, only one with 4 tops. We're calling good. Yeah.
Nice. That's rad. And then the nice podium moment, that super final cash purse was pretty sweet. That was a nice stack. That'll chip away at nationals costs for sure.
Right.
That's nice. The format of the whole series leading into the super finals that had kind of that World Cup format, I think was a really awesome thing that Vinny and co managed to set up. A little bit more closely to what you experience with USAC. Should we expect to see you at more local comps in the coming years? Is that what's next for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm going to college in Utah, but when I'm home, obviously, like I'm gonna be traveling back home to compete at like Method Undergrad. If they run this again, which I hope they do, showing you up, like this is the coolest comp I think I've ever done in my life, to be honest.
Sick.
Yeah, no,
That's awesome.
they're saying that they're running it back. So
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm excited to see what improvements they bring out for us.
Exactly.
Maybe they'll keep me from messing up how scoring works the next time around. We had tweaks on scorecards and scoring in pretty much every round, mostly because I described it wrong often. But yeah, so you've got nationals coming up in just a few days here. I'm sure that's a massive focus for you. What is is there anything specific you're doing for prep for that, or things that you're looking forward to?
For prep wise, I think, I don't know, for the past couple months, I've just been trying to eliminate every single just issue I have with my climbing. So if I do bad in the competition, I take it and I look, because usually I used to have the mindset of just like hating it and just like wanting to stop climbing forever. And that's why I quit for 2 years. Now I've just fully changed my mindset into just analyze, instead of just being in the quitter mindset, just analyzing every thing I do bad. If I don't win a competition, I'm analyzing, what did I do wrong? Okay, I see that I did wrong. Method Underground, I didn't qualify finals because I'm not good at pinches and slopers, okay? So I'm going to now train for the next 3 weeks until I get pinches and slopers are my forte. Like that's what I'm good at. That's what I'm going to be good at. And I'm going to practice so much to the point where like every single minor issue that I have, and I know that I have, is just fully eliminated. So I just climb perfectly,
Yeah,
Love that.
all around strong, no weaknesses. That's a really admirable goal, really, to do that.
Got to raise the floor to raise the ceiling. That's always always
I
true.
mean, it's when you talk about your weaknesses, you're typically weak in that because like naturally you don't want, and then most people will be like, especially when you have like options and just go to a new gym and you're like, I'm going to climb. You're like, oh, pinches and slopers. Yeah, those suck, right? Those are stupid climbs, right? But you're like, no, I got to go. Like, you're leaning into the pain and the hate. And that's really hard, like mentally, to kind of make it so you can enjoy that and then improve on those. Because we all know that it's like, I can spend time over there where it's more fun, or I can sit here and struggle for 3 weeks. It's really interesting mentality, tough mentality, man. It's tough.
My only other question that I've got for today is where does the outdoor game lie for you? Are you I mean, you're going to be going to school in Utah. Is the outdoor scene motivating for you there?
Yeah, I've gone outdoor climbing twice. I've sent like a 12, and then I was trying roses and blue jays for 13, but one of the holds was like soaking wet, so I couldn't even use it. So I was trying to just do like a skid beta, which I almost sent it with it somehow. But I know I don't really want to drive 5 hours to go down and just flash it. So, but I really want to go outdoor climbing more after like competition is over. Like that's something I definitely want to do.
Nice. That's awesome. Basim, you got anything else for the
So competition, are you looking at any other competitions outside of nationals? I know. So you're saying nationals is coming up in 9 days. So that means Block Shop Open is probably not on the card for you. That's going to be a pretty sick comp coming up. And then we have a long break and then you go to school. So yeah, I mean, be great to see you more on the circuit. And I know the deal, like when you're focused on USAC, the local scene kind of gets pushed to the side. We have Francesca Hain who'll be brought on the team, team Betabreakers, and like we never see her because she's crushing it on the USAC circuit. So I totally get it. But yeah, we'd love to see you more, locally, and get on the more podiums and keep crushing it. But I don't think you have any sponsors at this particular moment. You have a lot of fans. I have to say, it was Team Burt was definitely in the chat, really rooting for you, which was just awesome. But yeah, no sponsors, right? No sponsors.
No, not.
Okay.
Not,
All right.
not yet. Not yet.
And not
You know.
yet.
Well, I
Not
turned
yet.
him down, but yeah.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
All right.
So what's the story behind that? Like, you just want to keep focused?
I just, I don't know. I just want to focus on my climbing and not have to like worry about all that, you know?
Fair. Fair game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You know, in case you ever do want sponsors, where can people find you online? Where can they follow along?
Yeah.
My Instagram, James Burt 08 is, well, I don't really post anything because I'm waiting for nationals because gotta win, you know, and then I'll post that. But yeah, that's where I post all my my stories about my climbing and stuff like that. So
Cool.
Yeah, and we'll, you know, it'll be in the description. People follow James, and you know, hopefully we'll be able to keep up with your nationals journey. Wishing you good luck. It's gonna be, you know, it'll be cool to go there. And I'm assuming you're coming home before going right back there for school.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll catch you back on the East Coast, hopefully with some shiny hardware from the week. Are you boulders and lead for the week?
I have not put on. I don't think I can own a harness. I haven't put on a harness in like 3 years. Just boulder.
Okay. All right. So just boulders. All right,
That's
man.
all
So
we got.
yeah, best of luck. Maybe we'll see you in a harness someday soon. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, James. Well, thanks for joining us. Thank you for your time. And for those who have made it all the way to the end of this beta break, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also hype up the video. Like, let's get some hype behind this so we can, you know, get James some exposure and of course us as well. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.